Alrighty, folks, one rental at a time is a different channel. I'm not just one guy talking in his mom's basement. I bring on other experts from across the industry. And as promised, I was going to bring on a mortgage expert to talk about this crazy, this idiotic socialism that has been brought to the mortgage market. You have heard me say it. I hate this. I think it is bad policy. I think it sets the wrong mindset. But it's also not what other channels are saying. Other channels are saying higher credit will pay higher rates. That is not correct. They will have higher fees than they did before May 1st. But we need to put this in context because I am seeing some, I'm not sure if they're lies or just wild inaccuracies around this. So I want to bring on Matt, the mortgage guy, bring up the actual rate sheet, bring up the actual thing that is happening on May 1st. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Mike. Yeah, this will be good to talk about. This is stirring up a lot of emotion. And like we usually do, we'll show people the facts without needing to sensationalize to get extra clicks, to get extra views, any of that. Because that's what happens when, you know, whether it's a news station or an online article, they are, you know, focused on how do we get the most clicks? What is going to be the most dramatic way to present this? And they do it that way. And it's just misleading. So I've spent literally every day since this, you know, news article got all this publication telling people, okay, here's what it really is. And I want to make something clear. I don't agree with it. And I don't think it's a good thing. And so the people that are like, you trying to downplay it, are mad at me essentially for downplaying it. I don't like it either, but I also am not going to pretend like it's the biggest effect and biggest change to happen to mortgage, in a decade, because it's not. It's really not.
Well, let me give you something that is factually accurate and also wildly misleading. So I got these numbers from a Yahoo Finance article that actually went in and said, here's two scenarios. So I'll go from memory. 649 credit, 25% down, before and after May 1st. I can say this borrower's fees or these are loan level adjustments, goes down 40%. That would technically be accurate because it goes from 2.75 pre-May 1st to 1.5 post May 1st. I could equally say for somebody who has a 750 credit score that their fees went up 50%. That would technically be accurate. It would go from 0.25 before May 1st to 0.375 after May 1st. So I am technically correct saying that the good credit borrowers' fees went up 50%. And that 50% increase is funding people with bad credit. But let's be clear. It went from $250 to $375 or 0.25 to 0.37. Again, based on the amount of the loan. So it could be different amounts on different things. But it does suck. It is horrible policy. It is not the rules of the road. But it is also, there's just scale to this. So again, I see lots of passion around this. But also I see a lot of spin. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And that's the thing for people to remember. Me and you have said it a dozen times, but it bears repeating because people just don't get it. If you've got a 750 credit score, you get better terms, lower rate, lower fees than somebody with a 640 credit score. That still holds true.
And it's not even particularly close.
Right. It's not, but the gap got a little bit closer. Whereas, for example purposes, because I think that when I talk to people about mortgage stuff, using an example, it helps them kind of visualize it. If this change didn't take place, and it's already baked in, so May 1st is funny that they talked about that. It's already happened, guys. So May 1st as a future date doesn't really matter. It's already happened on lenders' rate sheets. But let's say 750 credit score, 6.25% interest rate, 640 credit score, 7% interest rate, pre this change.
Okay. So the spread is 75 basis points, or
right?
No, 0.75%.
So a change happens and now it's 6.3 and 6.92. One of them, worst credit came down, best credit got a little worse. And that's just a guess because it's based on down payment and all these other factors. So it's impossible to quantify exactly how much it is because it's different for every scenario. But we'll pull it up, Mike, and we'll look at it because I think this is a heat map, which shows the amount of change. I've shared on my channel, a lot of people have shared, here's what the adjustments are. And to your point, an adjustment went from 275 to 1.875 or whatever that is. And then on higher credit score, it went from 0.25 to 0.375. Another clarification for people. When you see 0.25 and 0.375, that's basis points cost. It's not the rate.
Exactly. It's a fee on the loan. Yes.
Right. And so here is what some people call the heat map, which shows higher loan level price adjustments, meaning worse, in orange or red, or yellow if it's a small increase, lower loan level price adjustments in green. So if you look at this, and we know what we're looking at, the lower down payments are on the far right. And then as you go, all the way over here where somebody's putting down 40% and it's 60 to 70 LTV. And then from top to bottom, best credit to worst, the bottom right is the lowest credit scores and the lowest down payments. And that's where the green is. Okay. And so without having to describe every box, you're getting 100 basis points, 125 basis points, 1.75 basis points of improvement,
right?
Where, massive loan level price adjustments, massive fees that used to exist on here are less after this change. If you're putting 3% or 5% down and you've got a 640 to 660, congrats. It got better for you, right? Is it better for you than if you have a 780 credit score? Not even close. And here's the funny part, 3 and 5% down, Mike, like these are,
so everybody
the green
got
and
better.
Yellow is better. This is all better.
So again, because again, nobody's talking about this. So again, these loan level price adjustments, this socialism of mortgage, everybody who's putting 3% or 5% down got better. Everyone. Based on these credit scores.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Like this is greater than 95. So for whatever reason, they have like this final bucket over here must be like down payment assistance. This greater than 95 must be the 3% all the way up to like 4.9999.
Oh,
so
I got it. Okay.
This third one is
so that's the 5%.
The true 5%, 5 to 9.999. So that's a little bit worse for you if you have great credit.
Got it.
And so, is this right? No. If you want, and here's something, Mike, that like I reserve the right to listen to feedback, change my mind, and say, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit too soft on this change. Maybe I was a little bit too, it's a nothing burger, don't worry about it. Because somebody brought up a very good point to me. You could make $36,000 a year, be struggling, but be very responsible with your credit.
Absolutely.
Very responsible with savings. So you've saved 20% down and you've got perfect credit. To make that worse is terrible. Right?
I agree. Again, I agree with that 1,000%. There are plenty, this whole notion that credit score somehow relates to income is a fallacy. This is what they did. This is FHFA basically saying, hey, if you have low income, you have low credit. That's bullshit. I know plenty of people on fixed income and low income that have beautiful credit.
And on the other side, Mike, I know a bunch of your tech buddies in the Bay Area that make $300,000 a year and they can't fucking make a payment to save their life, and they got a 625.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's again, for some reason, this administration equates credit with income, and that is just wrong. If you want to help first-time home buyers based on income, then do that. Don't create some other arcane thing that I mean, this hurts people that play by the rules. It does. Now, you can argue that it doesn't hurt them as much as people are trying to make it seem. I don't care. It hurts them. That's wrong.
Right.
It's bad.
Right. Yeah, to take from them at all is just wrong. And to justify it by saying, "Oh, look what we did. We're helping, folks with damaged credit." I mean, some people are really vocal about this, and they're probably not wrong. I've got a soft spot in my heart for people that have gone through any challenges, they have any credit challenges, but it's like it's a higher risk loan based on your history. It should come at a higher price. Like that's how it's always worked. Like that's what, the credit system is set up for, to say, hey, this is a little bit more risky. We're going to have to charge you 17% if you want an auto loan because you've got a 594, right? And you've shown incredible responsibility up to this point. You've got a 785. You're going to get the very best terms because you've shown that when you're lent money, you've got a very good track record of paying it back. So it's ridiculous in a lot of ways. What I do want to show, and again, this isn't me downplaying it. This is just me trying to show some context. You look here and you see 25 basis points, 50 basis points, 70, like there's some extremes where it's 100 or more, but for the vast majority of this stuff and, great credit, big down payments, 12 and a half, 37. So to clarify for people, this isn't how much the rate changed. This is how much the cost in basis points has changed. Here's a rate sheet for some context. And let me see if I can. Oh, shit. That was not what I wanted to do. Go back. Oh, I zoomed in a lot. Okay. Well, this will work.
There you go.
And so down here is like the cost for the rates. A rate of 599 for this specific scenario cost a point, 1.04 points. Okay. To go up an eighth to get to a 5.875 is almost 60 basis points. And when you're talking about a change that's 12, 25, 37 basis points, know that it's less than an eighth of a percent. And again, every scenario is different. Every rate sheet looks different. It even looks different when you go higher in the rate stack. There's eighth of changes in different parts of the rate stack where it's only 20 basis points or 30 basis points. But generally speaking, these changes that took place are going to—
Don't equate these with rates. That's what I think a lot of people are doing.
Right. And I'm going to say it again. If you've got great credit, you get better terms than somebody with less than stellar credit. Is the difference as wide as it was before? No. Is that right? No. But it is what it is. It came off of the best terms a little bit, and you got better with a 640. So kind of is what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is not a program I approve. I also think it is horribly put together. If the goal of the program was to help first-time home buyers, putting it on a credit score is insulting, frankly. I know plenty of people with low income or fixed income with wonderful credit. It's insulting to think that income leads to credit. And to your point, I know people that make, $300 a year that couldn't pay a bill on time to save their lives. So
yeah. And I mean, it's funny for me to watch, like, their goals and what they talk about doing versus what they implement, and the repercussions of it. The next one that's coming, Mike, and they kick the can down the road and said this loan level price adjustment won't go into effect till later in the year, is 45 to 49% DTI, where you're going to get a higher rate based on a higher DTI. You talk about wanting to help the people that need it the most, the people that are stretched on debt to income ratio, need it the most. So to charge them a higher rate, it's a whole bunch of ass backwards, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There will be something that comes out in July or August, whenever it's closer to that one being released, and it'll be spun in a way that's super dramatic for clicks and for things. And I'll have to clarify again on that loan level price adjustment, but we'll save that for the summer.
Well, folks, if you want to see the impact to you and your situation, again, these are loan level price adjustments, which means they need to evaluate you and the deal. Matt, how would they reach out to see what's what?
Easy to connect with me and my team. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out that quick form, and we'll be in touch. We're in 47 states, so high likelihood we're in the state you're looking. If for some reason it's New York or a state we're not in, I've got really good broker partners that we refer to there, and they'll take great care of you. So greatmortgagebroker.com.
Thank you, buddy.